Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie. And we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who wants me to eat the eyeball because it will make me smart.
Hello, and I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who has 2 volumes, Loud and Louder.
I should be louder.
I should too. I mean, I'm generally a low talker, and so much so I feel like sometimes I'm a ghost. People don't hear me. People will walk right by me. I'll be standing in line, and I'll do the thing. I feel like the John Travolta gif from Pulp Fiction. I'm like, am I a ghost? Did I go invisible right now? All the time.
I don't want to derail this episode, but lines, that's my pet peeve.
Lines, too many, too long.
No, not that. Not standing
I
on them.
know,
Just
I
how
know.
people behave.
Yeah.
I will be online with a cart full of stuff. And I feel how you're describing, where it's like, do you see me? Do you understand? Am I? And people will walk up to me and say, are you online? And this is not nice, but what I have started to say is, no, my hobby is to come to the store on Saturdays and pretend that I'm online. And they don't like that. And I can't help myself anymore.
At least you're getting asked.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, what's going on?
Well, now I'm hungry. Before we jumped on, Seth was talking about special pizzas that he has made in the past. Gummy bear popcorn pizza.
Yeah, I'm hungry too, actually.
We need
Right
to
before
make it.
I almost trimmed my beard before hopping on. I was like, I have just enough time to trim my beard, wash my face, put on some lotion, and instead I opted to eat a tuna salad hot dog bun sandwich.
Okay, so gotcha. For a second, I'm like tuna salad topping on top of a hot dog in the hot dog bun.
Ooh, that would be wild. I would try that.
Yeah, I mean, surf and turf, right?
Oh, more like low tide and low income. Anything else going on other than hot
No,
dog
honestly,
sandwiches?
now I'm just thinking of food and the ice cream man, which passes by my house every day, and I never get the ice cream man. Do you get the ice cream man? Do adults get the ice cream man?
I live in a too small of a town.
Oh, okay.
There's no ice cream man. They wouldn't turn a profit. How do you turn a profit with gas prices these days?
In a high traffic neighborhood?
I guess so, but you're paying for gas to drive around. So just existing, you're spending money.
Yeah.
2, how much of a markup are you making on a Spider-Man pop? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, if you're an ice cream man, send us an email.
Yeah,
moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. If you're
Please
not
let
an
us
ice cream
know.
man, I do actually want to know, what is your go-to order at the ice cream truck? Mine is the strawberry shortcake ice cream bar.
Yeah, strawberry shortcake or the chocolate one.
No, strawberry only.
Oh, okay. I'm a big fan, and this might come as a big surprise to a lot of people. I like the chocolate dip cone.
Oh gosh, I love a dip cone.
Yeah, with the
But
crunchy.
strawberry. What was that?
That's the sound that the ice cream makes when you bite into the dip cone.
There we go. A little louder
Yeah.
for the people in the back. See?
Okay.
Loud and louder. You got it.
There you go. Hey, next month, covering the Stony Brook Film Festival. Our episode went out last week. We interviewed the team behind the festival, and we're partnering with them in 2 ways. Michelle, what are the 2 ways?
2 awesome ways. So we're giving away 4 passes
Crazy.
to the festival, 2 regular passes and 2 gold passes. So 4 lucky winners will be able to attend the festival for free. You can also save 25% off at checkout with the code MovieFriends. And so if you're buying tickets a la carte or a Flex Pass or whatever you'd like to do. But yeah, that festival's from July 17th through the 26th. And the schedule's up. Good stuff is playing. We're going to chat with some of the filmmakers. We're excited. Very excited.
Yeah. Hey, we got some emails.
Email.
First email, subject line is Father of the Bride.
Ooh.
And it says, Hi, friends. I am the daughter George Banks wishes he had. We got married at the courthouse and then did a reception months later, and my dad had the exact opposite reaction of George. At my parents' wedding, my grandpa handed out drink tickets, so the first one was on the father of the bride. My parents liked the idea and used it at our reception. But at a certain point, I found out from my friends that my dad was handing them strains of tickets for drinks, like more than they could ever use. When asked, he said, Heck, I'm getting off cheap with this wedding.
Oh.
You also mentioned snow the week of the wedding. We got married in November, and it was in the 50s. Our reception was in April, and we had an ice storm 5 days before that shut down the city. Power was out for days in half the town, and this could have easily shut down our whole reception, but we lucked out, and that part of town was unaffected. Thanks for covering Father of the Bride, and I'm looking forward to my big fat Greek wedding. Betsy.
Thank you so much for sending us an email.
Wow. So, like, strings of tickets. Who's taking these tickets?
I know. I mean, logistically.
Can you tell me what you pictured?
I kind of pictured a raffle situation, like a little take one.
Yes.
And then you go up to the bartender and then they take it from you and then you get a drink.
I was picturing a man standing behind a very small bar with a big barrel in front of him.
You are obsessed with barrels, whether we're wearing them, drinking from them. Yes, you mention barrels all the time.
I'm like Donkey Kong. Everywhere I look, I see barrels.
If you were a Mario character, I think you would be Donkey Kong.
Pickle barrel.
Yeah, you always mention barrels. But what's in this barrel? Is it wine, beer?
See, now if I went to therapy, I would bring this up.
Okay, sure. Let's keep talking about you and barrels.
No, I mean, you're not a therapist. I'm just saying if I went to therapy and they were like, I think I'd go to a lady.
Okay.
I think I would like to go to a lady.
Yeah.
A dude, I wouldn't respect him. I don't think. I wouldn't believe him. I'm sorry, dudes.
Hey, I get it. Whoever you feel comfortable talking about. But I think your first thing to open up with is like barrels.
Right. She would say, how's it going this week? And I would say, I guess I'm obsessed with barrels.
I wish I could pinpoint exact references, but you bring them up a lot. I think last week was pickle barrel. Also, Betsy, she guessed my rating for Father of the Bride. Last week, she messaged me and told me.
Wow, very good. Yes, if anyone would like to play along at home,
please
feel free. You can get your own little notebook. You can lock in. The locking in thing to me is so funny. Anyway, okay. Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy.
And hey, you were looking forward to my big fat Greek wedding, and it's here.
Woohoo!
Next email, subject line is The Wedding Singer. Remember when we did that?
We do, fondly. Yes.
All right, the email says, crazy that Seth has never been to a bar or a bat mitzvah. I don't know. I guess so.
Yeah, especially since you worked in the world of catering, it seems.
Well, and I grew up on Long Island, so.
Right. Yeah.
Cat School is wild. And I just want to shout out Cat School. If you haven't listened to our episode on The Wedding Singer, it features one of the best Michelle stories, I think, ever. And I'll just leave it at that. I can't believe that Seth says he can do Rapper's Delight and then he doesn't do it. This should be a Patreon only thing. We need to hear this.
I agree. After listening to our episode and forgetting that you did mention that, I'm like, why didn't I press that and say do it?
Maybe one day.
Okay.
Maybe at our next live show.
Okay.
I'll pull out a bass.
Hey, I didn't ask for instruments, but yeah, make it authentic.
I'm not typically a Barrymore fan, but this is her best role. P.S. I love the surprise guest. P.S.S. I still can't get over all the cat stories. And P.S.S.S. I demand Rapper's Delight. And that email's from Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Hey, if you want to be like Ben and Betsy, send us an email. moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com.
Do you like candy?
Do you like candy?
Do you like candy?
If you answered yes to any of the above questions, then Candy is Dandy is the right podcast for you.
Candy is Dandy is the world's only candy review podcast.
And we know that because we looked as deep as the third O in a Google search.
Every first and third Wednesday of the month, we pick a different candy, give you its history, taste it live, and review it and rate it.
We've tried candies such as Snickers,
Butterfingers,
Jelly Belly Jelly Beans,
and we've had a cavalcade of celebrity guests such as the Three Musketeers,
Bazooka Joe,
and Comedy Bang Bang's Carl Tart.
So download and subscribe to Candy is Dandy anywhere podcasts are found.
So, like I mentioned, we're going to guess each other's ratings. And hey, if you'd like to do it, go ahead, write them down, send us a little message and say, I was way off, or I was way on. We won't know. You can cheat.
I was way off. I'm Rocky Balboa guessing.
Hey. I really thought Michelle was going to go a little higher with
That was so good. I had my eyes closed for some reason while you were doing that, and I was like, holy cannoli.
Close your eyes now and guess who I am. Ready? Hello, I'm Michael Caine. Do you know who that was?
Michael Caine? Were you trying to be Scrooge?
Yes, that was Michael Caine.
Oh, LOL. Okay, I'm locked in.
We have not been doing well. I don't think we've gotten anything all wedding month. We've been just all over the place.
Oh, I think you're right. I thought you guessed right for...
Well, our perception of time is always incredibly off.
Yeah, I know.
So who knows? Maybe we could have gotten something 2 weeks ago and it just feels like forever.
That's true.
Movie Friends exists in this like alternate dimension where like when you and I sit down and like put on the headphones and go in, it's like we've never done this or we've always been here.
It's so
anyway,
true. So true.
My guess is also locked in. So today we are talking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding from 2002. Directed by Joel Zwick. Written by Nia Vardalos. Cinematography by Jeffrey Jur. Composed by Chris Wilson and Alexander Jenko. Edited by Mia Goldman and Heather Persons. Costume design by Michael Clancy. Starring Nia Vardalos, John Corbett, Michael Constantine, Lenny Kazan, Andrea Martin, and Louis Mandalore. Michelle, you want to put a lamb on the spit and read our summary?
Life with a big family can be tough. Tula Portokalis loves her large, immigrant Greek family, but she's 30 years old, she's not getting any younger, and she can't be the seating hostess in her family's restaurant forever. Tula begins taking college courses, finding a new career, and herself in the process. Oh yeah, she also finds Ian, a handsome, loving man who is very much everything she wants and is very much not Greek. As they navigate joining their families together, Tula wonders if she'll say, I can't handle my big fat mess, look at my big fat regret, or welcome to my big fat Greek wedding.
That was the hardest summary for many reasons. Not just how to end on my big fat Greek wedding, right?
Right.
But like, this was a really hard movie for me to summarize. Jeez Louise.
You did a good job, though.
Thanks. Good job reading it.
I enunciated wrong words, I think, so I apologize if I butchered that for you.
That's okay. This whole movie is about mispronouncing words and...
Well, I didn't mispronounce anything. I think I just enunciated the wrong ones.
That you remember.
Oh, no. Just dub me over. If that ever happens, I want
Michelle
you to dub me
in her family's restaurant.
And then you just hear Seth go, restaurant. That'd be so funny, actually.
Wowie.
Mm-hmm.
Were you alive in the year 2002?
I believe so. Yes, I was present.
Were you aware of this movie?
Yeah, but I can't pinpoint when I first saw it.
Okay.
But
So
I know when I did see it, it was well watched in my household. I think we owned it. It was on repeat a lot, quoted all the time, but I cannot remember when I first saw it.
this was also on heavy repeat in my house.
Yeah.
So in 2002, I'm 14.
I'm 15.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my mom being like, it's a great movie, except for when that cousin Nikki comes in.
I love Nikki.
And she's talking and she's swearing but other than that, this was like a huge movie for us. And I remember thinking it was really funny. And I remember, liking it and whatever. And then I sat down to watch it for this. And I was like, okay, I haven't seen this movie in probably close to 20 years, which is a
Wow.
crazy thing to think and say.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked at how little there is to this movie.
It's so simple, right? It's such an easy watch.
Those are two words that you can use to describe it in a positive way.
Okay, wait, I'm just going to interject right now.
Interject, please.
This is what I've been struggling with all month, and I didn't realize it until yesterday.
Okay.
With specifically this theme. And hey, listeners, if you've been here a long time and I have forgotten, because that's who I am, right?
Yeah.
If I have said this before, please correct me, please write in. But like, I'm having a very hard time judging these movies minus Melancholia.
Yeah.
Because these are easy to watch rom-coms. They're cozy and comfy, and you're just watching for a good time. And now here I come having to put on the critical podcaster eye and rip it apart of what the problem is with it. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't like this month. I don't like this month. Yeah,
oh
wedding
my
month
God.
is no. I don't like it.
Wow. And it's not because you don't like the movies, you just don't like the process.
I don't like the process. I watched this movie twice.
Yes,
The
me
first
too.
time just to, because I usually don't, right? But the
Yeah.
first time was let me get my notes. The second time was like, let's just watch it. Let's be in it. Let's truly feel it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nope, I don't want to judge this. I'm going to smile when I smile. I'm going to laugh when I laugh. I'm going to tear up when I tear up. And you know what? I don't care that she just ends up married. This is the story that it's set out to do. Because because it's like, well, Tula, she's 30. She should have made more of herself. She should have done more with her career, blah, blah, blah. All she wanted was just to like be happy. And, she finds a husband. All of a sudden, things are good again. It's like, no.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
Right.
Okay. I'm done now.
It sounds like maybe you should go to therapy.
I do go to therapy.
Say, why do I not like to unpack the things that make me comfortable?
Oh, honey, there is not enough time. Well, for one thing, right? Like, why do I have to unpack enjoyment, right? Like an escape. Not everything. There's other stuff I need to unpack. And
you don't have to.
I don't have to, but I have to because here I am.
I guess I would be curious.
With you.
I guess I would just be curious as to why you have a strong aversion to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I always say is if something's not a big deal, it's not a big deal both ways, So it's like, what is it about like dissecting My Big Fat Greek Wedding that you're just like, this is it. After 2.5 years, I'm putting my foot down when it comes to My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Seth, I'm sorry. I'm done with the show.
That's my break.
That's it. Michelle left after my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I agree with you. Like, my problems are not with what happens in the movie. In fact, I actually think that this movie does a really good job of not following a lot of rom-com tropes. And this is not a new idea that I have come up with. But for example, once her and Ian get together, it's not a will they, won't they. Like, he loves her.
Yeah.
When he sees her in the travel agency, he doesn't recognize her. And even though she's gone through this transformation of attitude and physical appearance, he doesn't look back on the her that she was and she's like, oh yeah, you look much better now. Like, he's genuinely attracted to her as she is to him. They don't break up. Her finding happiness in marriage That's what the movie's about. It's fine. But prior to that, she's the one who initiates herself, like going to school, dressing differently. So I give, Nia Vardalos a lot of props. And she says in many places the same things over and over and over again about this, which is that she just wrote down everything that happened to her.
Yeah.
And this is very much just her own life.
Right.
What I was getting at more is
Did I come off too hot as per usual?
Well, I think that I was coming off a little too hot.
And then that triggered me to be like, I'm going to attack.
I guess like you said, it's very simple. It's very easy. Those are both very true. I was not like distracted watching it, but I also was able to just kind of zone out and watch it. I did a reverse thing. Normally when I watch a movie the first time for the show, I just watch it, no notes. This time around, I took my notes first because work has been really crazy and I wasn't sure how many viewings I was going to be able to get in. So I was like, this might be it. Then I had another opportunity to watch it. So that time I just watched it. And both times I was struck at kind of how empty it is. And like, this is based on a one-woman show that she did that was 45 minutes. And once I found that out, I said, aha, that makes sense. So does that make sense where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry I attacked. So.
Oh no, it's funny.
Hot. Well, no, I didn't mean to be funny. I thought
it's even funnier with the cats behind you. Listeners, Michelle has a black cat wallpaper and she's like kind of like enshrined in a
They're like my dragons.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, right off the bat, I guess I would say my biggest takeaway from this was I think that they kind of stretched the source material out a little further than was good. But hey, guess what? I'm in a real small minority here because this movie was ginormous.
Yes.
And really well loved. And talking about dissecting things, I really wonder if the time that it has been since I first saw it to now has done the thing of when you were a kid and you went to someone's house and you thought the house was huge. And then you go see it and you're like, wait, this is a normal size house. Or you thought this person was tall, or you thought anything was like grand. And then you get older and you revisit and you're like, this is not at all how I remember it in my mind's eye. So to me, I wonder if I watched this for the first time now at the age of 36, would I be like, oh, this is really funny and this is really great, instead of it living up to the memory that I had 20 years ago when we watched it all the time and laughed at it. Does that make sense?
It does, but what were you hoping and seeking from this?
So I remember the movie being a lot more zany, a lot funnier. Like, okay, top of my list for notes for questions for you. Did you remember Joey Fatone being in this like for 0.5 seconds?
Yes, of course.
No,
Angelo.
I mean like only being in this.
Like in terms of film career?
In my mind, I thought that Joey Fatone was in way more scenes and that he was funny and that he's...
No, he's just cousin Angelo.
No, he's barely in this.
Yeah, which is interesting to me because how I didn't go down the rabbit hole of this, but how did Joey Fatone get into this movie?
Not Greek.
Well, okay, that's aside the point, but
yeah,
how does NSYNC's Joey Fatone get into this movie?
This is 2002. This is post NSYNC's song Pop. Do you remember this song Pop?
Of course, I do. Yes.
What I remember is that NSYNC makes this big declaration. I'm so glad that we're talking about this, by the way. This is something I think about a lot. NSYNC makes this big artistic declaration with the song Pop. You think we're just some pop band? We're gonna be around forever. We're real artists. And that was it. It was like, that was pretty much the end of NSYNC and the pop wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was Celebrity, right? On album Celebrity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they had Greatest Hits and the Essential
Right.
NSYNC album.
So it's like don't make the statement, okay? Once you do it,
Well,
it ain't gonna work out.
yeah, okay.
But so this is post-pop.
Post-pop.
And the NSYNC boys were all trying different stuff. JT is acting, Lance Bass is acting on the line,
That's right.
which also features Joey Fatone and Chris Kirkpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
You were a Backstreet Boys head.
No. I was not a boy band head of any sorts.
Oh, okay.
Was not into Backstreet Boys, was not into NSYNC, was not into 98 Degrees.
Bewitched?
Loved Bewitched. Give me the girl
S-
bands.
S Club 7?
S Club 7,
I
Destiny's
love
Child.
S Club 7.
S Club 7
Like,
is so good.
did you watch their
Spice
show?
Girls. I think so, but I couldn't recall. Like if
I can tell you like every episode of S Club 7, and maybe I'm just throwing this out there.
Rewatch podcast?
Maybe when we're done with the OC season 3 and season 4.
Yeah, if we ever get there.
We need to track down the S Club 7 TV show.
Let's do it.
That would make me so happy.
I would do that with you, Seth. I would do that with you.
Anyway, I kind of think he sucks in this movie.
What's to suck? I mean,
No, like I feel like there's everyone else in this movie, and what this movie does have are interesting characters who are funny.
yes.
I don't feel that they're always doing a lot of stuff. Like there's not like a lot of like antics or zany setups or you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But they're funny when they're around, except for Joey Fatone. I really was like, this dude, you've got an NSYNC dancer. He's not singing. He's not he's doing this like once or twice.
The story's not about cousin Angelo. The story
Well,
is
maybe
about
it should have been.
Tula, and we understand who Angelo is with his sister Nikki, and they go back and forth, tit for tat. Oh, he has a little flat. You know, that's it. That's all.
My
I need
big
from
fat
Angelo.
Greek cousin Angelo. I would have liked to have seen that.
I think you just want more from Joey Fatone.
I do. Always, yes. He was the funny one.
He was the funny one.
Yes.
I have no problem with Joey Fatone in this movie.
All right.
He fits in fine for me.
Okay. Let's start over. For you watching this time around, was it like fresh in your memory where you're like, oh, I remember all of this? Did it live up to your memory?
Yeah, this is not something that I watched in 2002 and then never revisited. Like I have seen this movie multiple times throughout the years.
Oh,
like
really?
I think I watched it on coming home from Italy or London. Like if it's available, I'm going to watch it.
Really?
It's so fun. It's easy to watch. It's comforting. I know these characters. I know this family. I'm down with it. That being said, I was like, you know what? Let me go in for the second one.
Okay. Please tell me.
Not good. Okay.
And
And then they make a third one.
Yes.
And I was like, let me go into the third one. The third one was only available to me as what I could find to rent. I'm like, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah. Did you recall and did you see My Big Fat Greek Life when it came out?
No, I didn't. Wasn't Joey Fatone in that?
He may have been. Pretty much everyone comes back except for John Corbett.
What the heck? Was he? Why?
So they had a fake Ian on the TV show? Yeah, I know. And that's what we said.
That's what we said. The people or the Vargases?
The Vargases. Oh, yeah. It was like, oh my God, they're going to make this into a TV show. This is going to be great. And then I think there's only 7 episodes of the TV show. And we watched like probably all of them, but it just wasn't the same.
No, you need Corbett as Ian Miller.
So let's talk about John Corbett as Ian Miller.
Let's talk about John Corbett.
Tell me about Ian.
I'm swooning. His chemistry and his sweetness. And what's interesting is I'm not attracted to him, but I'm attracted to the essence of him.
Yeah.
You know, he's comforting to me. I grew up watching him as Aiden on Sex and the City.
Okay.
I'm still watching him as Aiden on Just Like That.
Oh, really?
He plays the dad, Dan Covey, in To All the Boys movies on Netflix and Exo Kitty. And so he's just, everything I've seen him in, he's just so sweet. And his voice is relaxing to me. And I really like his character in this movie. And I think him, Nia, have really good chemistry.
Yeah.
And when they're on screen together, I just have hard eyes. And I'm like giggling.
I don't know if anyone has ever been in love with someone as much as Ian is in love with Tula in this movie.
What? That's
Like,
what do you mean?
He's his face towards her is always just open and smiling and like eyes twinkling.
Yeah, but I never thought that, like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before.
There's not a moment he doesn't get mad at her a single time.
No.
Right there, like that's got to be a record. You're making a movie about a relationship and there's no She is in turmoil. She is panicking and she's freaking out. And every time she does, he's just looking at her exactly the same.
But it's not annoying,
smiling,
you know? It's very genuine, his reactions.
Oh, no. I mean, he's so smooth.
Yeah.
He's so charming. He's so sweet. He's all of those things. And it's like cranked up and they never put the brakes on it. Like even when he's pressing her and he's like, what do you do for Christmas? And he's like, and like, he's not annoyed at all. Like he's genuinely like trying to pull out from her. And even when they're in the restaurant and she's being so awkward,
the first
he's
time.
just looking at her and he's like, hi, and like laughing at her.
Yeah.
This dude's in love.
Yeah. Did you ever freeze in front of someone you had a crush on? I can't imagine you have done this.
Okay, one time. I wouldn't call this quite freezing so much as just I'm a weird guy.
Okay.
One time I took a girl to her school dance and we liked each other. And at the end of the night, you know, when you're like in a scenario and it's like, all right, we're supposed to kiss now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For some reason, I did not do that. I kissed my hand and then put my hand on her cheek. And she said, okay. And then I ran away.
Did you see her again?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you eventually kiss?
No.
That was it.
I cannot kiss and tell.
Oh.
But
Why
I guess
not?
if you don't kiss, you can tell. So no.
Okay.
I wasn't friend zoned. Okay, the same thing. This is a real weird diversion, but in one summer, I liked 3 girls in a row who all said that they liked me back, and we talked on AIM and met up and were romantic and flirty with each other. 3 girls in a row who all were dating someone else while they were talking to me.
Ooh.
And I found out later.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Tough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is that high school, right? Like, I remember one weekend I got asked out by 4 different dudes, but I think it's just because my friends said no first.
Got it.
Doesn't make you feel great, you know? But
I was frustrated. I was annoyed. I was like, I would never.
Yeah,
like you made me the other woman.
The other Seth. Yeah.
Yeah. One of them I remember had in their AIM profile, they had a heart and then their boyfriend's name, which I will not name right now, but it was a 3-letter word. And I very politely asked them about it. It was like, hey, what does this mean? And she was like, oh, that's the first letter initials of my 3 best friends. And guess what? It was true.
Oh.
And so I was just like, okay. And she was lying to me.
Oh.
So big lie.
Wow.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Smooching?
I asked you if you've ever froze.
Oh yeah, froze. I
in
would say
front of
that
a
was
crush.
probably like the dorkiest, weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Looking back, I should have just done it, but who knows? Maybe I'd be married to her if I had.
Who knows? If you didn't kiss your hand first.
That's right. So it's a good thing that I did. Anyway,
Yes.
Did you ever freeze like this and hide behind a counter and say that you're someone's personal Greek statue?
In my own way, like I was such a weird. I'd be like, "Oh, you know who you look like?" And just foot and mouth situation. I'm just very awkward. I think I still am in a way, but. And then it took time, and it's like, oh, she's charming. She's quirky, and some might say cute sometimes.
Right.
But it took a couple of months for that to shine through.
Right.
It wasn't right off the bat like someone looked at me and was like, wow, I have hard eyes for her. It never was that. It was like a grown,
So you grew on people.
I grew on people. Yeah.
Anyway, I think John Corbett is doing all-time great, attractive guy being the love interest.
Do you think?
Yeah.
The lack of showing tension between them. One, this isn't the movie, but they meet later in life at 30 and they get married very shortly after.
Yeah.
So there's not really they're still in the honeymoon period.
Yeah.
So,
And I would be curious to see how his character changes over 2 and 3.
Well, right. 2, spoiler alert, it's like she's back to being Tula again. Which
What does that mean?
reverts back to where we first met Tula. How
she
didn't know herself and anyway. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's still married and she has a daughter and it's mostly focused around her daughter, but yeah. It's like she doesn't have she doesn't know herself. She loses herself.
Well, so let's talk about Tula.
Yeah.
Or Fatula.
Fatula.
Nia Vardalos.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a one-woman show. Rita Wilson goes to see it. Says, Tom Hanks, you got to see this and you got to turn it into a movie. Tom Hanks says, okay. And Nia thinks, well, they're not going to let me star in this movie. But sure, we'll make the movie. And then she stars in the movie.
What a dream.
Yeah. How do you think she did?
I think she did great.
Yeah.
I think she's super funny and I love that she was able to portray her story.
I do feel she's very authentic. She feels like someone. Once we're out of, what she would call her frump era, once we're out of that, it feels like a real person that you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very authentic, very real. Before that, though, I'm like, what are we doing here?
What feel is like hair? I know that feeling. I've felt that before.
Of that hair? You felt that hair before? And the earmuffs?
I love earmuffs.
Well.
Don't you feel like she was giving Adrian a little bit?
Yeah, Adrian in Rocky 1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you could take this out, but Aunt and I were getting ready for bed. I'm about to put on Malcolm in the Middle. He goes, so you ready to watch Rocky 2? I know you've been thinking about it. I was like, Aunt Fernie James, I already saw Rocky Balboa. I'm good. I saw the whole, that's what I need to see.
So you didn't watch it?
No.
Oh, you've got to.
He just keeps asking me hey,
no, you've
I
got
know
to.
You've been thinking about Rocky 2. I'm like, I haven't.
Rocky 2, yeah. It's a tearjerker. It's
yeah.
There's a lot. It's good. It's very good. Anyway.
But yeah, she reminded me of Adrian.
Yeah. What I saw pointed out and never really put together is when the movie starts, she already has the flyer for college.
Yes.
I don't think the movie does a good job of communicating that part of her maybe distraction is that she's contemplating how to approach her dad about it. And instead they go with literally just seeing Ian is kind of what sparks her and pushes her. I'm okay with that. I'm okay for whatever, It's not, we don't see her studying and then the voiceover says, I just knew I had to do good in school so that Ian would notice me. We don't see that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
she's she's figuring out how to do her makeup, figuring out what outfits she wants to wear, how she wants to look. She's going to sit with the blonde girls.
To eat the Wonder Bread sandwiches.
Yep. And she asks them to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that the movie doesn't say, oh, look, she's pretty now. She'll be invited places. Instead, it shows us that she is like gaining the confidence to invite herself.
Right.
And yes, when Ian comes in, you know, she does the whole, you want to look at some brochures and like knocks herself down. But as soon as they're on the floor together, she is flirting up a storm. Like she is open. He is open.
She's
You know
like
what I
flicking
mean?
his nose.
Yeah.
He's
It's
like, you want to
like-
go to dinner? And she's like, yes.
Yeah. It's like they're there.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really see a big, long, drawn out process of her not being a nerd around him. And I like that. I think that that's a good, maybe could have been a little less subtle, but yeah, I think it's good. The lunchtime thing. Did you have lunch table anxiety about what you were eating? And
No. I mean, I've shared what I would make for lunch in high
Yeah.
school. You know,
Yeah.
my rice and an apple and like, you know, I was always quirky with what I was eating and I didn't really
Yeah.
buy school lunch. So
Right. Okay. The dad,
Gus. Yeah.
We're just coming off of Father of the Bride, which had me reeling of what kind of movie is this? What is this? And you said something like, yeah, there's really kind of only like this. And then we go into My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I'm like, this is just Father of the Bride from the perspective of the daughter.
Sure. But yeah, okay, you got me. Tongue tied.
I'm not trying to get you. Point 1 for Seth.
Yeah, I mean, Gus, he's proud. He's a traditionalist.
Mm-hmm.
He's very stuck in his ways and also trying to navigate the modern world while also very much staying in his bubble of what his truth is.
Yeah. Gus is tough because I straight up think that he's a jerk.
Yeah.
I cannot get behind anything that he does. He's shown to be so ridiculous. When she says she wants to go to college, he starts to pretend to cry and he's like, why do you want to leave me? And you know, it's funny. But I can't get behind anything that he does. But Gus is from a generation of immigrants who left their home and came to America. And he is trying to look. I cannot imagine leaving America and moving to another country and
With
just being
$6
like,
in your pocket.
Yeah, I'm here now.
I know.
This is it.
I know.
And he really wants to maintain a connection to Greece, which is very understandable. He tries to raise his kids as Greeks the best he can because, I mean, I would imagine that like moving to another country, I would find it very comforting to eat at McDonald's.
Totally.
Or to be like, oh my gosh, look, they have this American thing here. And so for him, the thing that would bring him comfort while being in a strange land, he wants to implement that into his kids. And when they're, you know, hey, we're Greek and we're doing, you know, we're with you, Dad, then it's like, great, I've built my own Greece here.
Right.
And when Tula is not fitting into that, I understand what the reaction is. But again, Gus, you're killing me.
Yeah.
And I think that he's so funny. And I was shocked to find out that this actor is like just some American guy.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
He's putting on an accent for this.
Wow.
And so in that way, I feel like he's doing a pretty good performance.
Job. He's doing a good performance. Yeah.
Gus does end up buying them a house. but it's also the house next door.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you feel about the parents?
The Millers?
Yeah.
Harry?
Yeah.
I mean, I find them exactly the way they're presented.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here is the very extreme, exaggerated, if you will, representation of wasps.
Yes.
And like, honestly, you know, not too far off. Speaking of someone who's been around wasps. So, yeah. I do like toward, at the end when we were at the wedding, they do come around. So Rodney says to his wife, like, come on, Harry. Like, that made me laugh.
Right. Yeah, I come from a very large family, and we're very loud and boisterous, and I would like go to my friends' houses or meet my girlfriend's parent, whatever, right? And I would just be like, how do you guys live like this? Like,
Yeah.
Can someone please do something funny or be weird or something?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like a touch too far for me. I wish that they were just like a little less caricature-ish, because I feel like it goes to a realm of like not quite realistic, but again, that might just be me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up in a big family, but we were the house that was very loud and chaotic, and like you sit at the table and you talk, and all of my friends we would just sit at the table and we just would have conversations for hours. Like my house was the hangout house.
Yes. Your house was a hangout house. My house was a hangout house.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
But then you'd go over to some friends' homes, and it's like, ooh,
Not the hangout house.
this is not the hangout house.
Yeah.
You ever go to a friend's house and it's like, who didn't take their shoes off?
Yes.
Like,
and you sweat.
Who left a cup in the sink? And you're like, well, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the Millers feel
That's
like,
right.
for sure. Okay. My favorite.
I hope it's my favorite.
Well, we've already covered Joey Fatone, so who could be left? Aunt Vula.
MVP.
Andrea Martin. Now, this is a Canadian production. Nia Vardalos, Canadian, filmed this, I think, in Toronto.
Yep.
Supposed to be Chicago. Sure, whatever. Andrea Martin is in one of the greatest horror films of all time, Black Christmas, which we have covered on our Patreon show. That's Messed Up. Check it out. I did a reverse where I watched this first and then watched Black Christmas, and I was like, oh my God, that's the aunt from my Big Fat Greek Wedding. So for you should watch that. It's a lot of fun. It's a good slasher Christmas movie. And you can see her super young. Like she's playing like a college, like a sorority girl. It's pretty wild. But I love Aunt Vula. I think she's so funny. I think she's, to me, like the standout of the whole movie.
Every scene she's in makes me giggle. Mm-hmm. And I want an Aunt Vula. Mm-hmm. I know they could be like in your face and telling you stories and being super inappropriate. Give me Aunt Vula. I want.
My mom really had the twin thing.
Really?
Yeah. So I think that was part of why we also liked this growing up. It's because like, oh, hey, we're a big family. And oh my God, my mom also had a twin lump.
Teeth and a spinal cord.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
But I just love when she approaches the Millers and she says, okay, you're family now. And it's like, now that you're family, you need to know this. And it's like, no one needed to know.
And then it just abruptly goes, Spanakopita!
Yeah, yep,
like, just the quick shift. Also, with her and Ian at Easter, what do you mean you don't eat no meat? Mm-hmm. I mean, that is so have I been in that situation?
I'm sure, yes.
I make lamb.
I do feel like, and again, not to be that one friend that's too woke, but I was like, okay, a lot of the humor in this movie is like, hey, isn't it funny that they don't know how to pronounce words?
Well, I'm curious on, you see this movie in 2002. Is this now shaping your viewpoint and stereotype for Greek people? Because truth be told, the only stereotype growing up for me for Greek people was that they own diners.
Well, okay, so everyone listening, before you turn us off in a haste, Michelle and I grew up on Long Island. And guess who owns the diners on Long Island? Greek people. Growing up, I had a friend, you had a friend, that we literally called Greek Alex. Because he was Greek, and his name was Alex. And guess what his parents did? They owned a diner.
Right. But that's
So,
it. That's it. Like
right.
And then to me, like, this family reminds me of Italians and Jewish and Spanish, like every type of big family. So
well, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. And that's something that I think about a lot. Whenever someone who's very proud, you ever meet like a proud Italian?
Yes.
And they'll talk to you and they'll be like, oh, you don't understand. In Italian families, we're all eating and drinking and we're loud and we're crazy. And then you talk to someone and they're like, you don't understand. In a big Mexican family, we're always eating and drinking and we're loud. And eventually you meet enough people and you're like, I think that this is just people. Like,
it's just people. It's just big families.
I think maybe this has nothing to do with being Italian, actually. And yeah. But yes, I guess so. Like, I don't think I ever came away from this being like, okay, this is what Greek people are like.
Right? I know.
But yeah, like the babapsi. And again, I'm not like saying that these things aren't funny. Like, I'm not sitting there stone-faced like, oh, she doesn't know how to say bundt. That's not a joke. Like, I get it. It's funny.
It's
like the delivery. It's the performance. Yes.
That's comedic.
Like the joke on its own, it's not really a joke. And that's kind of what I was saying about rewatching this and being like, the movie feels somewhat empty. Because it really is just like, you want to hang out with these people for an hour and a half? That's what we're going to do. Nothing's really going to happen. I mean, the major conflict of this movie is so like nothing. Like when she is describing.
Yeah, but that to her, this is a big deal of how do I balance the way I want to live in the modern world, but also I want to keep a close relationship with my Greek culture.
Yeah. When Tula is describing her family to Ian on the bridge, it's like she thinks she's like describing like murderers.
Right.
And I'm watching, I'm like, I mean, I guess, but like, it's like I'm around these people in this movie, and the only person who I don't like is Gus. Like for me, if she was like all in turmoil about just her dad, but like, what's her mom doing that's really embarrassing? I don't know.
It's just the overbearing.
Yeah.
Probably constantly like, when you're gonna get married, and
yeah,
you look so old, but Maria, the neck of the family, I love so much.
Yeah, she's very good too. Yeah. Not Greek.
What do you mean, the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. But the character Maria, she's I enjoy her too.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts when she's talking with her, and she says, my village saw many wars, Turkish, German. I gave you life so that you could live it.
Yeah.
And then the grandma, who's crazy, comes in.
Wait.
With.
Okay, wait. Okay, continue, because I gotta talk about Yaya.
Well, yes. But she comes in with the memory box. You see the different crowns. She puts it on her. We get a shot of them in the mirror, and it's 3 generations, 3 very, very, very different generations and women. And you see in this mirror, in this shot, this progression of 3 women in Greek culture over 100 years, and how different it's a great shot. It's one of my favorite.
Crying.
I didn't cry this time around, but I could have, you know. It's a great moment. It's one of my favorite moments in the movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
Grandma.
Yaya. Yaya to me in this movie is very old.
Yeah.
Then we get to My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
Okay.
Yaya's still alive.
Wow.
And
Same actor?
Same actor. In fact, the actor is still alive today. She's 102.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, to me, she's very old. The actor who played Yaya was 46 years old.
No. Her name is Bess Maisler.
Okay.
I could not believe it when I was watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 and Yaya appeared. I'm like, Yaya is still with us and the same actress? I cannot believe it. And she's 102 today.
Well, something that I saw, and I haven't seen the other movies, but Mrs. White, who finds Yaya and comes to the door.
Yeah.
This is Jane Eastwood, who is just a great, like, hey, that guy actor. Anytime she shows up, she's great. I went to her filmography and I see, okay, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3?
Wow.
As Mrs. White, who has one scene that lasts 2 minutes, makes it into both movies. All three.
It's like, let's round the troops. Let's all reunite. Yeah. And I was watching interviews with Nia talking about the second movie and her just talking so fondly about getting together with her family again. And so like that makes me happy. You guys got to work with each other again.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the cinematography because this was the biggest. I know I said I had one big takeaway, but I have two. I was pretty impressed with some of the shots in this movie. There's one at the beginning when Tula's dad turns her down and she goes out into the alley. And it's a crane shot and we kind of come around. She's in the alley. She's sad. The music starts. Crane comes down, comes around on her. And I just love how the movie shoots her. I love how it shoots Nia. I love how they dress her. And like, so the cinematography is done by Jeffrey Jor. He did Dirty Dancing. You ever hear of it?
Mm-hmm.
At one point, when the parents meet out on the lawn, we switch to handheld camera, and it's like it's not quite a Dutch angle, but it's just like a little off. It's a little low, and it really highlights like the kind of frenzy of the moment and like almost turns into like a horror movie for a minute. I don't know. There was a lot, like I already mentioned the mirror shot.
Yeah.
I just thought, you know what? Like each time I was taking note of different shots, I was imagining another way of doing it that was far less creative, and they could have, quote unquote, conveyed the same thing,
right.
just in a much simpler, probably cheaper, easier way. And they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I give them a lot of credit. And this is, for the most part, it's kind of like, an independent movie here.
Right.
Yeah, you got Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson and his company Playtone behind it, but the movie's $5 million based on a one-woman show starring the person from that show. And Nia had acted before, but it's not like she was a big star. So anyway, yeah. I have two questions more for you. One, did you guys do plastic on the couches?
No, but I have pet sat for many a people who have done that.
Okay. All right.
Such an interesting choice. What's the point? I know what the point is, but like your couch is your comfy space.
Right. It's your comfort spot. And like plastic that goes on couches isn't just plastic. It's like hard.
Yes.
You get sweaty. There's nowhere for your water to go. So now you're just sitting in a pool.
Well, I was with you until that point. Okay.
Look, a couch is a giant sponge that you sit on.
But
All of your essence goes into the couch, okay?
Yeah,
That's
but
why couches get better over time and why you become more comfortable with the couch over time, because it literally contains parts of you.
again, I was with you until...
If you ever need someone's DNA, just open up their couch cushion, pull out a little stuffing, good to go.
Noted.
Next question for you. The poster. Can we please talk about this poster?
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
I sent you a picture of it.
You sure did. I'm looking at it now.
Can you explain in your own words what is happening in this poster? Because this is something that I just saw growing up. DVD cover, poster. I saw it. I accepted it. Looking at it now, what is happening in this?
Okay, so we have Tula and Ian. And Tula is leaning against this, I would say, makeshift wall, door, if you will, with her hand kind of trying to keep the family out.
Okay.
And Ian is like, he has his arm leaning, his arm out and leaning towards her, and his eyes are just fixated on her. She's in her wedding dress. She's looking at us. Ian is looking at her. And then you got Joey Fatone, who made the movie poster. To come full circle, Joey Fatone is topping us out. And then we have Gus and Maria and Nikki and Vula and Yaya and Nico. And they're doing they're all like piled on top of each other, kind of like in Friends. For those who watch Friends, when the gang was spying and they put their heads on top of each other through the purple door. And the crack.
Yeah.
What's the problem with it?
Logistically, what are we looking at? Is this a big glass tube? Is this a big glass door? They're pressing against it. How is Joey Fatone standing on top of the mom?
Okay.
Like, I'm just saying, look.
Do you want to break this apart logistically and forget Photoshop is a thing?
Look at Gus's head, please. Gus's head is about 6 inches to the left of where it should be.
Correct. And like, look at this tiny hand.
He's got a
very tiny hand holding the liquor that they drink.
Like, Joey Fatone's hand is literally pressed. Like, you can see.
It is. It's pressed against, I would say, a door or a wall.
Right. Okay. So why are they stacked up like this?
Well, how else would you fit everyone into
You would
this
put them horizontally, like how people stand in real life. Like, why are they inventing this human pile inside of a glass tube? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I said to you, here's my pitch for My Big Fat Greek Wedding poster. Are you ready? Tula's family is behind a glass wall, and they're all pressing in while Tula and Ian are in love, and they're getting married.
We don't want them
and you
totally...
say, great.
Right.
And I say, let me do a mock-up. And I hand you the tube of Greeks. And you say, I kind of pictured this differently. And I say, oh, you don't think Joey Fatone would be standing on top of the mom?
A tube of Greeks.
That's what they made. I didn't make up the tube of Greeks. They made it up.
Honestly, if I had to give notes,
yes,
I'd be like, I think Gus's proportions are off.
Yeah, I think so.
That is my
Why is Gus towards the top? Why is Yaya at the bottom of this ladder?
Also, Gus, I think he's on a child's body. It is strange on the only one who appears to be standing is Nikki.
Yes, cousin Nikki. She's fine.
See her full dress.
She fit in there. Yeah. I mean, the mom is at an angle.
Yeah, so she's peering in. Maybe someone's lifting Gus. His proportions are all wrong.
Listen,
his proportions are
the
all
way that
wrong.
it is right now, Gus is kneeling on Nikki's shoulders. And he's happy about it.
Oh, wow. They worked in the confetti. So there's confetti on a white background.
Yep.
and they worked it in, so they're getting it on them.
It's insane. It's insane.
Oh, did you see? Oh, that is sweet, though.
What?
Tula's hand is pressed up against Yaya's hand.
Okay.
And that is really
That's
sweet.
You know what? It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry. So we get to the wedding, the big fat Greek wedding. All of Tula's family's on one side. Ian's like 5 family members are on the other. Ian has to get baptized into the Greek Orthodox Church. And then that's kind of it. Like I said, it's not like there's a huge moment. There's the windex on the zit.
Mm-hmm.
There's her getting ready. But then the wedding kind of just goes off nicely. And
Did you like Gus's speech?
I did. I tried to view him as a nice person and not, a horrible, manipulative dad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're all fruits. It's good.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
And then he buys him a house.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to 6 years later, and Tula is sending her kid to Greek school.
Right, and her daughter wants to go to Brownies, and she goes, I know, but I promise you can marry whoever you want. Now,
The end.
the end. Yeah, because it shows that being Greek is still very important to me.
Yes.
And I might look back, or at the time, I might not have appreciated going to Greek school and learning about my culture, but this is important, and I want you to do this.
Yes. So, like I said, this movie was made for $5 million. Goes on to make $368 million, which, we've covered like Napoleon Dynamite on this show. I think that this is like the most highly profitable movie we've ever talked about.
Wow.
That's insane.
It is insane.
Huge movie. Stayed in theaters for a year. Because people
Maybe I
just
did
kept
see
seeing
it in theaters.
It's possible.
Yeah.
This has 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.4 on Letterboxd, 81 on Metacritic. All pretty good. This is not in the Criterion Collection, nor is it in the National Registry. But I can see this going in the National Registry.
Mm-hmm.
Ebert gave this movie 3 stars. He was pretty favorable on it.
Okay.
And they shot this from about mid-March to the end of June.
Oh.
Which, again, seems a little long.
Yeah.
I feel like you could make this in one weekend.
Your answer for everything. Hey, therapist, I'm obsessed with barrels and making things in one weekend.
All right, let's get into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
My happy is when Yaya brings out the box.
Yeah.
And they go through memories, and she puts the wedding piece on her head. Tula puts it on her head. Love it. Crying. My crappy. The only thing to me that felt out of place and I did not like was when...
Ooh, wait. Can I guess?
Sure.
When Ian and his friend talk in the hallway?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ian Gomez, who at the time was married to
Yes.
Nia.
Yeah. Yes.
No, but takes place at the school when Tula shows up while Ian is teaching and brings him out of the classroom and says, like, can we elope? Can we go to all of these places? I felt like that was very misplaced. We could have had that conversation not while he was at work. I did not like that.
Okay. Yeah, the scene that I mentioned, Ian Gomez, who is her real life husband. Was. Ian is like, oh, you can't be my best man, but, whatever. Both times I watched it, I was like, why is this in here? And it also it ends on like a fade to black. It's so weird.
I think maybe because it's setting up for Ian to say, oh, Tula's got lots of cousins. He ends up with one of the cousins.
Okay, right.
And in the second one, they're married.
Okay. Yeah, because at the time I was just like, it's not funny. And at one point, Ian Gomez like says a line to John Corbett, and John Corbett just kind of stands there, like not saying anything. I was like, did he forget a line? Did they
Like
not have a line?
the ball and chain type of
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
No, I think Ian was just taking that in and being like, I'm not going to play
Yeah.
into this. This is not true.
Right. Because we can't have Ian ever mad or disagree with anyone.
We can, but we're not going to play into that narrative or language.
Yeah. Oh, right. My happy is the cinematography and how Tula is dressed and how she's shot. That scene in the alley, like I said, this is her when she's still Frump Girl, as she calls it. It looks like a musical. It looks like she's about to start singing, So I really liked that. My crappy, you guessed it, folks. Get Joey Fatone away from this movie.
Oh my
gosh. Hated him in this. What? Hated him. Anti-charisma, if you ask me.
To me, Joey looked like he was having a grand old time.
You know what? I hope he was, because that would mean one of us was. So we asked some friends online what they thought. Melissa D'Agostino at Melissa Dags said, this movie made me think I could tell stories about my life in a way I hadn't considered as an Italian-Canadian gal. I still quote this film regularly and had the great fortune of working with Maria Vakratsis, who plays Aunt Frida, and is, in my honest opinion, a national treasure.
Wow, cool.
That's very cool.
Very cool.
Betsy Gorm, who we heard from earlier.
Sure did.
My Big Fat Greek Betsy episode.
Well, I don't know if Betsy would like that nickname.
Let us know, Betsy.
Yeah, she'll let us know.
She says, I saw this movie 5 times in the theater and regret nothing.
Wow.
5 times in the theater. That's Titanic level.
That's Titanic level, yes.
Jamila at Wildcat Tin Wow.
Hey, Jamila.
Says, my family and I quote this all the time, but especially the why you want to leave me and personal Greek statue line.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this very quotable.
So
movie.
quotable.
Mm-hmm. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck.
Yep.
Eat something, Tula.
Snappy like a chicken bone.
Mm-hmm. Eat up Albany. And then the Groucho Marx mustache face emoji.
Oh.
At Schenectadena says, I can't serve a bundt cake with a straight face anymore.
Yeah, I agree to that every time. Bundt. It's a cake.
And then over on Instagram, Alyssa10
Lissy
says, it's fantastic and still holds up. Personal fave. Literally, the twin bit is about me.
Yes.
All right, so this is some people that we do know. Now we go to a segment of the show where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. All right, these are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and an app where you can log, rate, and review movies. We start out with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film, and we work our way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. Now, normally, for a half-star review, I read it in an accent. What should I do here?
Can you do a Kermit Greek?
Portugalis. I don't think I can do that.
No? An accent doing an accent? Who do you feel like doing?
I'll just do Joey Fatone.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Joey Fatone. I'm from the world's biggest pop band, and now I'm an actor. Joey Fatone's agent, after the success of this movie, he must have been like, this is it, kid. Like, you.
This is it, kid.
You were in my Big Fat Greek wedding.
And my Big Fat wedding, too.
You're on your way to the top. Hate that guy. All right. Half-star review says, I hate this movie. I hate this movie because my religion teacher forced me to watch this movie. It sucks, and the main character is chopped. I'm done. All right,
Suck it.
I picked this one because it's very funny for a religion teacher to be like, here you go, watch this and learn. I mean, there is a baptism scene.
Right.
There is a
right.
moment where we're doing this ceremony and the priest is singing. Now, this is something that's always very interesting to me. You're a priest, okay? You got to be a singer too.
I feel like that's your realm.
I'm not. No way. I did not. Oh.
Well, not. But like, is that protocol? When you do you audition?
I've been to a few
idea how this works.
Masses. The plural of mass would be masses, right? I've been to several massi in my time. I ruined my high school girlfriend's grandmother's funeral.
No.
I'll tell that story another time. But the priests are always singing.
There is a lot of singing.
You're going to priest school? What if they're like, you suck? You can't lead a wedding and you're like, ooh.
Well, maybe we could do like the speak song type, like, oh, and then I went for a walk and it's
and now you're married.
Here's some water, holy maybe. I don't know. I'm really
undetermined holy water. What if you did a lip syncing priest?
That's such a funny idea.
That'd be a funny idea for a movie. Like you do like Cyrano, like you have some guy off to the side of the stage. And this, okay, here's the idea. Ready?
Yeah.
You get a Jewish guy who wants to be a priest and can't. Because his family would disown him.
Right.
And then you got a priest who wants to be a priest but can't sing.
And so
call it from, oh my God, you call it from your lips to God's ears. $1 billion idea right there, folks. Okay. What does chopped mean? That's why I picked this one also.
Like,
this is young people language here.
When I think of chopped, I think of the Food Network show You've Been Chopped, It
sucks and the main character is chopped. I'm done.
I feel like
I hope I'm not saying something bad.
No, I think they're saying something. Let's see.
Well, they're being rude, of course.
Okay, chopped slang definition primarily means something undesirable, ugly, or unattractive.
Oh, please, get out of here.
This sounds like a child. Also, like you're in religion school or class, whatever, and your teacher puts this on, this very light and easy movie to watch, and you're complaining. What, are you mad because you're not learning about God? Come on.
God. Wow, that went...
Well, right? Like, I don't know.
I actually saw a lot of half-star reviews saying something similar to this, like, my teacher made me watch this, or my dad made me watch this, or... So this is not a movie for the next generation.
Okay.
Remember Busted?
Busted. Like someone's busted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what chopped is now. When we were teens, you said busted. All right. 3-star review. What I find comforting about this movie. Check mark. Palatable amount of conflict. Check mark. Big family dynamic. Lots of character. Check mark. Unconventional female lead. Check mark. Food is a plot device. Check mark. Crazy grandma. New comfort movie acquired.
Love it. Check mark to that review.
5-star review says, okay, but guys, seriously, hearing the line, the other girls were blonde and delicate, and I was a swarthy 6-year-old with sideburns in 2002 was pivotal because no one had articulated that feeling before. It made me feel less alone. I love you till the end, Tula. Us Mediterranean sideburny children gotta stick together.
So sweet.
Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we rate a movie as a schmovie, a movie, or a film. We rate it 1 through 5 stars and give our final recommendations. And I'll go first.
Okay.
I always ask you if you want to go, but I'm just going to do it.
Okay. I wrote down for you 3.5 movie.
Oh, so close. I know. It's a bummer. I like
Can
it better
you just
when we win.
lie? Come
No,
on.
I cannot
Let's
tell
both,
a lie.
What? That's false.
Is
What
that
if-
Abraham Lincoln or George Washington? George Washington cut down the cherry tree and said, I cannot tell a lie. Abraham Lincoln returned a penny. You ever hear that one?
Isn't he on the penny?
That's why they put him. Before him, it was just blank.
It's a copper coin
Yeah.
waiting to be filled.
Yeah, it said TBD.
Oh, goodness.
No, I can't lie. For me, this is a 3-star movie. It did not live up to my memory, but I can appreciate making a cheap movie that everyone loves and people went out to see. That's the success. To me, the story is that Nia Vardalos wrote a great one-woman show. The right people saw it, and here we are today. I think that that's worth a lot. And the movie's fine. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It is very easy. It's very easy to get into. It's very easy to follow. The characters are very fun. Even Gus, who I'm down on. But yeah, if you haven't seen this, I would be really, really interested to hear what you think. So please send us an email if you're watching this for the first time. Okay, for you, I wrote 4-star movie.
You're right.
Yes.
Wow.
Finally.
Get a pickle. Yeah, this is a solid shining star, make it 4, movie. As you heard this whole episode, I love it. It's comforting. I like that it's simple. I will continue to watch this whenever I feel like it, honestly. And if I'm ever on a plane or if it's on randomly, I'm going to tune in. I love these characters and I am going to recommend it. And I also would be curious if you've never seen this before. And I say that with I'm curious on different generations. Because like if my mom's generation never saw it and watches it for the first time, I feel like they would enjoy it. Versus maybe a 16-year-old were to watch it today, how would they feel about it?
Right.
Either way, recommending because it's super easy to watch.
All right, so going over to our pickle tally. Michelle is at 10 and I'm at 12. Doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, does this movie pass the Seth Shell test? The Seth Shell test is our spin on the Bechdel test. And we are looking to see, does this movie contain something tangible that is impressive, whether choreography, production design, or practical effect? And the movie must have a runtime that is justified by its content. I'm going to say yeah on both.
Yeah.
I think we got good production design. The homes feel realistic. I love the big Greek garage door.
Mm-hmm. The flag.
We don't normally lump cinematography into this, but I feel like the movie looks good. For $5 million, they made something.
Yeah, it looks good.
Good. Yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
And I don't think that this is a minute too long. Like I said, there's not enough to like really fill it out, but I'm not sitting there like tapping my watch.
Agreed.
So is yes for you on both?
Yes, for me on both.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you're saying yes to both of us, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you're listening. If you're on Spotify, we would love it if you could comment on the episode. Let us know if you were a swarthy 6-year-old with sideburns. You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Did you watch the show? How did you feel about the new Ian? Did you watch 2 and 3? Are you a big fat Greek head? Please. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Look, you go to patreon.com/ Movie Friends Podcast. You sign up, okay? It's $5 a month. You don't even notice it. You join our Discord where you get to talk with other people and us. You get to vote on upcoming movies and monthly themes. Wedding month, we are here. This was voted in by
Because of
the
you.
people who subscribe. It's awesome. You get ad-free episodes and you get to support, come on, like us, which is pretty cool. And you
You're
know what?
part of something.
We're not taking that money and just buying M&Ms, okay? So if you're sitting there thinking, look, I like these guys, but I'm not giving them M&M money. We assure you that is not what we're doing with this money. We're doing cool stuff, right?
We are. Yes.
We're doing live shows, okay? We're writing a movie,
We are.
okay? We got a lot going on. And you can be part of it. Patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Okay. Next week, speaking of the patrons, nominated and voted in, we are talking about Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Have you seen Mamma Mia?
Yes. And I've seen it on Broadway too.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Spoiler alert, folks. Well, it's not a spoiler because we're weeks past it, but Mamma Mia was almost my pick for this month. I was
know.
between like Melancholia and Mamma Mia. So I'm excited that we get to
I'm
do
really
this.
happy we're doing this because you really wanted to do this. And instead of when we were talking about, oh, should we do My Big Fat Greek Wedding or Mamma Mia? I was like, I like My Big Fat Greek Wedding more. So
it's like 3 times around that this almost happened. And
it was
now
meant
here
to
we
be.
are.
It was
Yes.
meant to be.
Yes. I love ABBA.
Me too. Yes.
So
And
next week might be a big singing week.
get ready. Don't they go to Greece?
I think so. It takes place in Greece.
Right. So we're still in Greek wedding mindset.
And not only that, this movie stars Stellan Skarsgård, who is in Melancholia.
Oh boy.
This movie is about finding out who the father of the bride is.
Oh
and
my gosh.
like I already mentioned, we're going to be wedding singing.
Here we go.
So
Here
it's
we go.
all wrapped up. Every movie we've
connections.
done.
Get ready.
It's all coming together.
Get ready.
Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia is currently streaming on Hulu and Peacock in the U.S. It is directed by Phyllida Lloyd, and it's from 2008. 108 minutes. What else could you want? Come on. Well, hey, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth.
I feel like I had fun talking about this. We went to some weird places.
I know we did. I felt like last week was a little torturous for you, and this week I feel better, even though you hated Joey Fatone. So
Joey Fatone was harder to watch in this than George Banks was.
All right.
In Father of the Bride.
Okay.
Michelle just really short-circuited. Anyway, thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Seth.
And thank you very much for listening. And remember, folks, it's a bundt. Till next time, have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.
Incoming. Message incoming. Message to Michelle's inner circle. Remember, kids, only Michelle's inner circle can decipher this week's message. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Message number 23. U, Y, C, X, L, T, G, K, E, E, I, H, G, W. W.
Message number 23. 62. 63, 43. 64, 55. 66, 76. 77, 82. 57, 76. 74, 89. 74, 72.
Michelle is counting on you. Michelle is counting. Do not let her down. Michelle is counting on you.